Hi, Kate French here, clinical psychologist coming to you from Side by Side Psychology. So today I just wanted to have a quick talk to you a little bit about positive psychology and how I'm really excited about using it more, I suppose, in terms of an intervention for kids with anxiety or depression or other kinds of challenges. So often in psychology, we have a tendency to focus on what's wrong, what's going not so great in someone's life, and that's how a lot of the disorders and the diagnoses are kind of described. So the other perspective, of course, that I've come to really enjoy working in that space is more of a strengths-based approach, which is looking at what's going really well and how to capitalize and build on that. So this week I've been doing a lot of preparation for our school holiday programs that are coming up next week, and a lot of that is based on, I suppose, a strengths-based approach and talking about what's going well and how we can amplify that. So one of our groups is actually called the Happiness Ninjas group. So I've been doing a lot of preparation and going through all my resources and finding the kinds of activities that kids I think will really enjoy in terms of really exploring happiness and happiness creation and how we actually build that more into everyday lives. Now, it's not just because these kinds of activities make kids feel good and, in some ways they're a lot less confronting than talking about anxiety or anger issues. There's, of course, a lot of research that talks about the actual, the benefits of that and how it's incredibly protective against developing depression, it's protective for developing empathy and compassion in children, and resilience, which is really, really important. So when tough things happen to kids, that they actually have some sort of protection from that. So creating happiness, creating empathy, creating a positive mindset is an incredibly important and useful skill to develop for children. So one of the things that I've been thinking more about is how do we skill kids in this area? What kind of language do we need to use? What kind of practices are going to be most beneficial for children wanting to create happier lives, and for the parents that are wanting to create happier children? So a lot of what we will cover next week will be exploring exactly those kinds of skills and giving kids a bit of a taste of what they will be and how to incorporate them. So for me, I'm exploring in our group what is happiness for kids. How do they explore that in their bodies, in their minds, through their language, and how do they recognise it? The other aspect will be talking about how to what kind of activities make them feel happy, and what kinds of things make other people feel happy, and how do we recognise that? That's really useful. So in terms of connection with other kids and other people in their lives. And then the next aspect we'll be talking about, what are those exact things that help to put us in a positive mindset? So a lot of thinking about positive self-talk and how we recognise that, how we shape and sculpt that, and gratitude as well. So we'll be doing lots of activities around gratitude practices, how to develop that, and the actual benefit of having gratitude in our lives. So if you're looking for some more resources and things, so one of the great resources that I reflect on with my own children and have been using on and off for quite a while are the resources from a group called Big Life Journal. So they develop sort of growth mindset and positive psychology kind of resources, and they've got some really lovely things that can be used in classrooms or with families or with individuals or with groups. So I've been looking at those resources for a while, and I'll post a little link to theirs if you're not familiar already. And then more recently, I went on a hunt looking for all kinds of other resources that could be really user-friendly. I found a series of books, these ones here. So this one's called Be Kind. This one's called Hello Happy, and I've got another, I think there's about 3 or 4 different books that I've got with different titles. So one of them's about being brave, one of them's about feeling strong, all kinds of titles. And the common theme with these sort of books they're kind of really simple little activities that can be done very, very simply. They're like little doodles and little sketches and things in them, and just little kind of simple activity books that kids can kind of do if you're looking for, well, where do I start to sort of introduce this with my kids without being all sort of heavy about it. And then the other one that I've really, really enjoyed is called Create Your Own Happy. And again, it has different activities for kids. It has a bit of an explanation about in history, the kinds of people who use these sorts of practices, why they're useful for developing like a positive mindset and a gratitude kind of stance. I've found that there are lots of different resources if we go looking, and I'll put the links to those ones as well if you're interested. But I really do think that developing, a sense of gratitude in children is incredibly protective against kids who feel anxious or have a tendency to feel depressed or miserable quite easily. So it's not just about going, I'm going to make my kids be happy. It's really about protecting their long-term mental health. The other aspect that I'm really passionate about, and we will also be always including in our groups that we do with kids, but also in my individual work, is a focus on mindfulness and meditation and that ability to link into emotion regulation skills, and how the kids that have that skill of mindfulness or can develop that skill of calm is really, really important for not getting overwhelmed easily, for managing difficult times when they come up in their lives. So that will be incorporated as well. And all of these little workbooks, as well as the Big Life Journal resources, lean very heavily on the benefits of mindfulness and meditation kinds of practices. So that was a bit of a sneak peek for those who are going to be coming along to our groups next week about some of the kinds of content that I'll be doing, but also just as a reminder that when we're thinking about developing kids' good mental health, it doesn't have to be focused always on what's going wrong, but about what's going really well and how we can really make that grow and point kids into focusing on their positive kind of aspects and how they can look more positively within themselves and their world around them. So you'll be seeing a bit more of my exploration of positive psychology and how we can really enhance that in kids. So thanks for watching, Cindy. Thanks for watching, Barb. And if you found this useful, please share it with other people. And I look forward to catching anybody who joins me next Friday for our live. Thanks for watching.